It's 6:45 on Tuesday, April 28th, and I'm leaving Bart's place and heading into Kansas. Next stop, Kansas. Going to try to hunt us a turkey kind of in the north central northwest part of the state. I guess northwest would be most accurate. So I plan on a little road workout, real light, easy one, and get to a campground, a pay-to-stay place. It's the only thing in the area, and get there with enough daylight to set up my tent, throw some stuff in it, and then get out and maybe hunt, but mostly just hang around in glass and look at the area, drive around a little, that sort of thing. Sun's coming up behind us there. I've never hunted Kansas before, and I was able to get my non-resident tags before they stopped selling them to non-residents because of this coronavirus. So I'm going out there to practice some extreme social distancing. On to the next adventure. And of course, a quick stop at what I said was my third most favorite coffee machine, but right now it's number one. I arrived at the area that I'm going to hunt in Kansas, and I'm just going to drive around for a while, glass, see what the terrain looks like, see if I can find any turkeys, and just get comfortable. We got a hen over here, private land, maybe a half mile from the public. Some turkeys here on private land. They're about 3/4 of a mile from public. This hen's on public, so things are looking better. Right in that field, there's some more birds. They look like hens feeding. Right on the other side of that brush. There they are. Alright, we're on private land, but that's only about 200 yards from some public. The one on the left is a strutter. There he goes. That's a strutter on public. Well, I think I need to make a play on that bird. I've got over an hour of legal light. There are other birds in the vicinity, but they're feeding to the north, and he's hanging out on the south side of this brush. I'm wondering if I just can't walk the edge of this field, cut across, get in the creek, and slide up on them. That's him on the left. Down in that corner, that thumb. He's puffed up right there. He's got two hens with him. On the opposite side of the creek, there's a bunch of hens, and there's one in my way of getting to him. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to him tonight, but that's definitely where I'll start tomorrow. There's like a pocket. The creek does like a real big horseshoe, like a thumb shape, and he's kind of creeping back in that direction with those couple of hens, and all the other hens are going up in that direction too. I'm wondering if that wouldn't be a better spot to get to in the dark in the morning, get in that thumb somewhere. Probably the best plan. I don't want to blow them out right now. They're kind of over toward the edge of the public. I should probably play it safe. I don't want to blow those birds out day one. Maybe tomorrow morning, but not tonight. It's going to be real windy in the morning, just like it is right now, so my sound won't be an issue. Might be able to use the creek to run around in. I think that'll be the plan. We'll be here in the dark. Good morning. It is 04:58 in the morning on Wednesday, April something. So if any morning has felt good, this one feels good. Of course, there could be somebody already down there, There could be a dog come off that neighboring property because the house is right there. If I don't booger them up, I think they're going to be in and around me all morning. I think they're going to be in and around the area. I don't think they're going to leave much from the area, because once you get off this creek bottom, it turns into terrain probably less suitable for turkey. We're going to get after it. Legal's 616, 617. So usually I don't have to worry about that, but I use that as a guide for light. So I want to be sitting still no later than 5:45. So it's 5:01 now. I'll be sitting still by 5:30. Sounds like two to my north. The ones to the east aren't on the access area. But I might need to creep up to this creek right over here and see if I can't look across the field. I guess I could always retreat right back to this spot. Make sure I got an idea of where the birds are before I go moving. So I go ahead and cross the thumb field and get down in that creek bottom. Got birds in this field that was kind of across the creek from me, so I'm down in it. I think if I can crawl up this bank to that tree, I'll be able to observe good. But there's birds in this field already, so we need to be careful. I drop everything I'm wearing and start to climb the bank. It's pretty steep. Eventually I'm able to slide into position. And there's the turkey. You hear a real faint gobble, and I'm thinking that's a hen, and there's a gobbler somewhere on the other side of the creek bank across from me. I actually see this bird gobble, and as it gets closer, it continues to gobble, but it's very weak. So in my mind, I'm thinking Jake. So I'm looking for a beard. I'm looking for a Jake beard. I'm looking for a gobbler beard, something. Because he's not strutting, so I can't look at the tail fan. So I need to get his attention. He's in range, but I don't see the beard I'm looking for. He's not showing me a fan, probably because of the wind. He gets really tight to me. I'm hoping that wind blows the beard out from his body so I can get a good look. But even at this close range and him zigzagging in, I never see anything. He slides off to my right and I try to get him to come back. But he just keeps going to the right. So eventually I slide forward and lift up to see if I can't see him on the right side there somewhere. And I don't, but I turn around and guess who's looking at me? Busted. So I cross back across the creek, crawl up the other bank I just came down, and I see a gobbler strutting a couple of hens. But after a couple minutes, this is what I see. Nothing but bright sunshine. I can't see anything. So I back up, get into the creek. Gobbler's over there. I'm going to go down around and try to come up on his side. I couldn't quite go as far as I want, but I crawl up, and there he is. Just out of range, of course. 60-ish yards. They're moving to the right, so I back up back into the creek.
Looks like the hens are going to feed right across where I was sitting in the dark. So I think I need to get back to the spot where I first saw him strutting, because the field kind of pinches right there. Take advantage of this wind, try to get over there quick.
But when I crawl up over there, they're gone. So I just continue up the creek and see how far I can go in this direction.
I got a male bird about 100 yards in front of me feeding. Only problem is I'm not sure how I'm going to try to get to him. There are two birds over there. One's a male. I don't know what the other one is. The one for sure is a longbeard. He might just come my way and come around this corner. He's over there, about 80 yards right now. He might swing around this way. So I'm going to try to creep over here. Maybe be able to get into a shadow right there.
That black dot through there is one of the birds. 100-ish yards.
It's two big boys. I thought they were gone, but they're in a pocket over here, right on the edge. They're still too far away. Currently, they're feeding away from me.
Eventually they crossed the creek, so I took advantage of that big tree right here and scooted up real quick behind them. But of course, that's when they moved out with purpose, and I could not close the distance. So I paralleled them up the opposite side of the creek, dropped into the creek, crawled up the other bank, and I'm going to crawl to this root ball and end up next to them on the field. Once again, just out of range. So when their backs turn to me again, I make another move, kind of a bold one, crawl over to this tree, and then I'm actually standing up behind this tree. And oh, this was so tempting to take a shot, but just out of range again. Did not feel comfortable with this. You can see a couple of hens in the background. So eventually, I'm able to make a move here, back up into the creek, do a big loop around, and come up on that hill that's up in the top left of the screen. By the time I get there, the two boys are moving off, and the hens have disappeared.
been stalking those two turkeys for probably 3 hours now. I just could not get them into range. I get them at 50, 60 yards.
I didn't see anything else the rest of that morning, but I was quite impressed with the size of this tree. So I set up for the afternoon and into the evening, and I got a close encounter with a hen here. She's about 15 yards right here. This is my head cam, and I don't follow her with my head because I just did not want to spook her, because I'm thinking she's a good live decoy. Later in the evening, I've got a few mule deer bucks that come by. Alright, now you want to talk about a close encounter? How's about 5 yards?
It's officially sunset. I still got a hen out in this field behind me. That's the field where the 2 toms and the 3 hens were, and I got up on top of them over here. I've got some hen talk and a gobble out in this direction. So this is going to be my starting point in the morning. The strutter this morning was over here and the sun was in my eyes and I couldn't hardly keep track of them. So I'm going to try to set up somewhere over here, because I'm thinking they're roosted over there, but they're going to come here into the corner of this field, possibly this field. So if I'm set up over here, I can cover both avenues. That's the plan. We'll see.
The plan for the morning is to be back in this spot. Nothing's roosted around me, but it seems to be a hotbed of activity, at least in the morning. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and give us a subscribe. Help save us from the next YouTube purge. And as always, thanks for watching.